Hi guys, so this is my first YouTube video. That is a really crazy sentence. I wanted to make a video about 2017. Things that I'm personally leaving behind and things that I'm going to answer some questions that are also like reflective of my year, because I think it's important to look back and reflect and not necessarily get too caught up in what you're going to do in the future, because if we don't recognize our past, we can make the same mistakes or fall into the same patterns, and I don't want to do that. I want this year to be as new as possible. So what inspired me to actually make this video was the Google commercial about the top searches in 2017. My husband and I actually watched it together and it was very emotional for us, and that's what instantly sparked the idea to create this. So that video was really great, and I'll actually talk about that more towards the end of the video. So let's go ahead and jump into what I am leaving behind in 2017. So I actually have a list here, which is why I have my glasses on, because I'm getting old. So number one, this is a big one. This is something that I do plan to leave in 2017, and it's animosity. Animosity towards past events, or animosity towards people that have wronged me. I don't want to carry that baggage anymore, and that's something that I really struggle with on a daily basis, is carrying around emotional baggage, because I'm an emotionally driven person. That's just who I am. Anyone who knows me, family or friend, will tell you like who's the first person that like who has cried in front of you the most. It's probably going to be me. And you know, I used to be really embarrassed about that. I would do everything in my power to hold back tears, but now I just embrace it because it's who I am, and I would rather feel something and be open about it than hold everything inside and not function to my fullest capacity and, you know, be who I am. So I think people should be more real with each other, because I would want somebody to be real with me and me receive them exactly how they are, rather than, you know, someone have like a massive emotional breakdown about something that happened 3 months ago, and then I'm like, you never said anything, so I didn't know there was anything wrong. If that makes sense. So yeah, I have a lot of animosity just because there's been so many changes this past year, mostly at like in my job. I was working one of the best jobs ever that I've had in retail, and it was great because the company was very ethical and moral, and it really upheld some beliefs that I have and like appreciate. And so it was an awesome opportunity to work there, and I was able to develop quickly, but the longer I was there, the less my development continued, if that makes sense. Development wasn't happening anymore. It had reached like a wall, and I was really wanting to move up with this company. I wanted to grow as much as possible, and I had everything I needed as far as like skill set goes. I just wasn't given the opportunity to actually do it, and quite frankly, I wasn't making enough money to like sustain my life in a responsible manner, and so I did what I needed to do, and I sought out other options. I was actually kind of like scouted, if that makes sense. I did work in a mall, so there were lots of other retailers there, so I was scouted by a manager of another retailer, and really thought this would be an amazing opportunity. Everyone told me to go for it. Even my husband was like, yes, you need to do it. And I wasn't sure if it was just because I knew that the money would be a little bit better or what, but I just went headfirst into it and decided to take a leap of faith, because I knew what I was doing now had no end in sight. It was a dead end unless I planned to like move across the country, which I couldn't do financially. So I decided it was the end of my journey at this place, and I took a risk. And then unfortunately, I was only at that new place for about 5 months. The manager just, I'm not going to go too into detail, but me and the manager didn't see eye to eye, and I just felt really unfulfilled at this job. Nothing about it fulfilled me, and quite frankly, I had worked in this mall for almost 5 years, and I was just ready to work in an environment that wasn't so stressful and chaotic. I looked at some local jobs online for like a month or so when I knew it was like really time for me to go. I applied, even because my gut, there was something in my gut telling me that I needed to move forward and make a change, something big, and just trust in that. And I don't know if that was God, I don't know if it was the universe, I have no idea. But even my husband told me not to do it, and I did it, and I'm very happy that I did it, because at the end of the day, all you have is your intuition. And if your intuition is very strong, you need to listen to your intuition, no matter what, period. And so now I'm at a job where I'm really happy, and I mean, the hours are long, but it was even more financially sound for me, and I would have even taken the job if it hadn't been because I was so unhappy in my previous position. So I think that was almost like a reward for like withstanding this job for as long as I could. So things played out really well, and this is a new job that like challenges me, because it's something I've never done before, which is fashion merchandising. And so yeah, cool. I'm glad someone took a chance on me. So anyway, yeah, any animosity I have towards people, jobs, family, whatever, I'm leaving it behind because it's not serving me. So that's it. The second one is going to be body negativity. And yes, I say negativity because I'm not very positive about myself when it comes to my body. I can look at somebody and say, you know, you're beautiful, you should never doubt that you're not beautiful, because, you know, it's not just what's in your mind, it's like, but yeah, I can talk all day long about body positivity and why it's important, but when it comes to me, it's so different. It's like I'm the first person to like beat myself up about the way I look if I'm not happy, and my husband is the first person to shut it down, which is amazing. I love him for so many reasons, and that is one of them. But I beat myself up a lot, and I have a lot of health issues that I think keep me from losing weight. And even though I live a very active and healthy lifestyle, I can't ever seem to like look the way that I fully want to. And I think this needs to be the year where I just like grow into myself and like learn how to love my body the way that it is, with what it is, for what it is. Because if it never changes, like, then am I just always gonna be unhappy with it? I don't want to be like that. And who cares? It's just skin and bones. So I think maybe it's good that I'm making this video so I can watch it whenever I'm feeling down on myself. But body negativity, sayonara, I'm saying goodbye to you. The third one is one that I'm very passionate about, and that is fast fashion. I do work in retail, and I wouldn't say I work in a slow fashion retailer job. So I think going forward, I want to buy clothing that is not negatively impacting A, the environment, and B, a human. So I think a lot of people don't think about where their clothes come from. I, however, do. And if you haven't seen the documentary True Cost, I think that you should watch it. I will try and link it in the description below. Go watch that documentary and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've already seen it and it hasn't changed your perspective, then I really don't understand. Not only from like an ethical standpoint, but also, don't you want clothing that's like going to last you a lot longer? I think we all need to be better at buying like investment pieces, myself included. That is my goal for this year, is to create more of a wardrobe that is like made up of classic pieces, will withstand time, and like are very chic and can be interchangeable. So fast fashion, sayonara. And if I do have to buy anything at work, because obviously I need to represent my brand that I'm working for, if I have to buy a couple pieces here and there, I'll make sure that I wear them for as long as possible. But you know, you got to do what you got to do. And I do know that buying things that are more ethical and sustainable for the environment isn't always affordable, and I'm actually going to make a separate video about that, because it is hard. I do recognize that, and you know it is expensive, but when you weigh out the pros and cons, there are more pros than cons to buying something more expensive that's going to last you a long time, because it's not disposable. You could even resell that if you're wanting something new. So just keep that in mind. Like I said, I'm going to make a separate video on slow fashion and some tips and tricks and what I do own. The next one's going to be self-doubt. I think 2017 was really a year where I did take some chances, but before I took those chances, I just doubted myself all the time. You know, I'm not in school. I tried really hard to get back into school without having to take out loans, and it just didn't work out for me. After that, I got to a pretty low point in my life when I was still working this job that I really loved at this company, and I just wasn't making enough money. And I'm like, is my life going anywhere? I'm a very aspirational person, and I have lots of dreams and lots of goals, and I want to do everything. Like, it's not even like I want my life to look like this. It's like I want my life to look like this for 5 years, then I want it to look like this for the next 5 years, and then for the next 5 years I want to completely change that and make it go back to how this was. You know what I mean? It's just like I want to do so many things. I don't want to limit myself, and so I need to just stop doubting myself, because once I stopped that on my career path, I was able to open up some doors and do something really great. And if I had doubted myself, then I wouldn't be where I am. So I need to say goodbye to that. The last big one that I want to leave in 2017 is procrastination. I am so bad at procrastinating. If it's something that's like really exciting and fun that I want to do, like making videos, I can do it and I'll push everything aside to get it done. But if it's something like small, like putting the laundry away, which I'm sorry, I will leave the laundry out for 2 weeks. Yes, I am that person that sifts through like piles and mounds of clothing because I don't want to take 20 minutes to put it away. I'm gonna work really hard on changing that. I also have like a productivity planner now, and a lot of people thought I was getting this for work, but I didn't get it for work. I got it for my everyday life, because if my laundry has been piled up for a week, I need to, you know, I need to make sure that like today's the day that I get it done. So this is a really cool tool because you fill in like the most important tasks and then go down the list. And then there's like weekly tasks that you need to accomplish. So this just, I'm a very visual person, and this helps me just like keep everything, you know what I'm trying to say. This helps, doesn't it? Like when I'm like, well, like you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so now moving on to a more light-hearted note. I wanted the second half of this video to be about some reflection, because like I said, I think it's really important that we all reflect on the past so that our future can be clearer and brighter. I have a list of questions that I've written down just to kind of refresh my memory, because honestly it's like I could just get on here and blab about where I was last year, but if I have a bunch of questions it makes it a lot easier. So first question, also you guys, I would love to see all of your answers, so if you want to put them in the comments below, I will read them. I would love to see what you were doing at this time last year. I mean, I probably know if you're like a friend or a relative, but if you're not, this helps me get to know ya. So where were you this time last year? This time last year I was working at a job that I had been at for a long period of time, and it was the job that I really loved. This was around the time that I had contemplated leaving. It was holiday season, so it was madness. My life was work and sleep, and I kid you not, that's what it was. I was really conflicted working at a job that I loved but didn't necessarily have the greatest management, and was feeling a little down on myself for a lot of reasons. I had just adopted a cat. Me and my husband have a little kitty. Let's see if we can see him. Oh, he's sleeping. Oh my goodness, I have to get him. So this time last year, we had just gotten little Edgar, little baby Edgar. And he was just a precious little kitten. Just a precious little boy. I'm gonna go put him back because he was sleeping. We adopted a cat, which was a huge deal for me. I love animals, cats in particular, and I had wanted to adopt for a really long time, and my husband was kind of on the fence about it because he doesn't really care for animals, and now they're like best friends. There were a few things that were really new and exciting. My husband and I had gone to Seattle for our 1-year anniversary to go visit some friends that live there, which was amazing. It was like a life-changing experience. There were some funny things that happened, and it was our first time being there. So there were a lot of firsts for last year, which I'm really thankful for. And I'm thankful that I'm in a different place now. So the next question is, where are you now? I kind of already prefaced this with talking about my whole job situation. Now I'm working a full-time job doing merchandising for a retail company. which is really great. And I'm learning a lot about myself, learning a lot about like merchandising as a whole. I am also a lot healthier. Last year for Christmas, Darren actually got me a gym membership, which is something that I had wanted for a long time. Because I was just using, you know, I was going on runs or doing something within the house to exercise, and because of my work situation and where I was emotionally, that all slowed down because I would come home from a long day of work and be completely exhausted or too upset or sad or whatever, and I would just want to sleep. Or do things that just weren't productive at all, like lay on the couch and watch loads of Netflix, which is good in moderation. Like, you need to take care of yourself and like veg out sometimes, but it's not healthy to do on a regular basis. It's not. You need a good balance, you know? Yeah, he had gotten me a gym membership, and I had made like all of these resolutions, because even though I'm not huge on making New Year's resolutions, I'm just like, you should make them all the time. Darren loves to make a list together, which is super sweet. So I had all these great goals and aspirations for the next year. Last year, I just didn't have a very rigid schedule at all. I wasn't organized at all. And then I would get stressed out because I wasn't organized. And I think that I've just really grown a lot in the last year as an adult. I mean, I'm only 23. But when you're this young, you really do feel like you need to have everything figured out. And that's just impossible. It's just impossible because you're still learning. You're still young. So yeah, I would say now I am working a steady job that I actually really love. I'm starting a new creative outlet. So YouTube is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but I just wasn't able to get the right camera, or I didn't have a good amount of time, and I was so emotionally drained that I didn't even want to put time into it. So now I'm making a YouTube video. That's crazy. A year ago I would have told you I wouldn't even be doing this. So that's where I am now. I'm doing things that I love, and I'm aspiring to do things I love, and I'm actually making steps in the right direction to live the life that I want to live. Describe your year in 3 words. This is a hard one. I would say exciting. I would say disappointing. And I would say draining. This year has just been like a roller coaster of emotions, and I think mostly it's because, you know, whatever job you are working, you're there more than you're home. If you work a full-time job, you basically live at work when you're not at home. You're home maybe 2 days out of the week. Working as much as I have been at places that have just drained me mentally, physically, and emotionally has been so hard on me, because it leaves me not feeling creative. It leaves me not feeling motivated for when I think that I have some spark of creativity to put to use. It's been a rough year for a lot of reasons. Like, because of our financial situation, we didn't get to travel like we wanted to at all. Darren and I love traveling and going on adventures, and it didn't happen at all this year. So that really sucked. So those are my 3 words, and I hope that when I make this video next year, they're completely opposite. What are you grateful for? I'm grateful for the struggles that I did face, because if I hadn't faced those struggles, I do see now that it was like a clear path. Like, I needed these struggles to get where I am now, and it's not to say that I won't have more struggles in the future, but I think I'll handle them with a lot more experience and tenure, because I've just evolved as a person from it. My friend told me this when I was really struggling at this previous job. I was really emotional, and I was like, I don't know if it's the right thing to go to this other place and completely change my life. I was even more afraid that when I got to this new job that it might just be the same situation or whatever. And she was like, Janae, diamonds are made under pressure. And it brought tears to my eyes, because number one, I've never heard that, but it's true. And also, she is so good at uplifting me and letting me know what I'm worth. And she's like, you're amazing, and sometimes it takes a little bit of pressure to like get to the next spot, and like if you want to be a resilient, beautiful human being, like you're gonna have to undergo a little bit of pressure. That really stuck with me, and I mean, it really resonated with me. And anytime I'm stressed out now, I just think about that. I'm like, diamonds under pressure. They're made under pressure. So I'm gonna be like, I better be like this massive diamond in like 15 years. You feel me? I'm grateful for my struggles, because they got me to this point and they taught me something. And I'm also grateful for a loving husband who has been with me every step of the way, not complaining, you know, comforting me, uplifting me, telling me that I can do it no matter what, because I think I can't do a lot of things, because I'm too doubtful. Just sticking by my side even when I wasn't like a good person to be around and all I wanted to do was sleep. So yeah, I'm thankful for my husband. I'm grateful for my husband, and I'm grateful for my struggles. Okay, next question. What goals did you accomplish? I accomplished going to the gym multiple times a week. I told myself like that was a New Year's resolution, like I have to train at least 4 to 5 times a week, and I did it. And I did read more. That was one of my big things, is I wanted to read more because I feel like we're so drawn into social media. I really am, I will admit it. I love social media. I'm inspired by social media, and I'm a visual person rather than like, I just do better visually. So I made more of an effort to read, whether that even if it's a magazine. Still reading, there's tons of pictures, but I'm still reading. What brought you the most joy in 2017? I would say what brought me the most joy this year was my cat, number one, because I'm not ashamed to say that. My cat is amazing. Another thing that brought me the most joy was seeing how supportive and loving my friends and my husband are during my time of need. The next question is, what new habits have you acquired? So since it's still technically 2017, I'm going to say YouTube. I also started a blog. I have 1 blog post up, but I did it. That is something that I have really been talking about for a year. I'm like, if I can't do YouTube, I'm gonna have this really spectacular blog. It's gonna be beautiful and so amazing and represent me in every way. And I did it. So I worked really hard and like conceptualized it and brought it to life. So it happened. And YouTube is happening as we speak. What old habits are you leaving? Oh, that's a good question. I didn't look at these beforehand. I'm so unprepared right now. I would say being on my computer like 2 hours before bed. I have to leave that behind because my job requires me to work 6 a.m. to 3, 2 days a week. And sometimes I'm really bad about putting my phone down because I have to go to bed so early in order to be a functioning human, because that is still the nighttime, okay? If I have to be there at 6, I'm getting up at 4:30. You do the math. I gotta do my hair. I gotta do my makeup. I've gotta eat. I've gotta like do something. So you do the math at what time I have to get up and all of that. So I would say too much social media before bed. And lastly, what do you want to achieve this year? The biggest thing that I want to achieve this year is success on YouTube. I want to make a difference with videos. I don't want my channel to be something that is just like really superficial. I want it to actually have depth and meaning, like some of the YouTubers that I really love, such as like Arden Rose, who talks about self-care and, you know, does Q&As about like life. I want my channel to impact somebody on the other side and inspire them, whether that be from a creative video that I've made that's like really, you know, aesthetically pleasing and just shows like my more creative side, or if it be one about like green beauty and like why it's important. I want to inspire others and hopefully like educate people too. So that's really something I want to achieve this year. The second thing is traveling. Darren and I have a lot of friends in Wales, and I've like made a vow to him that we will be overseas in Christmas this year. During Christmas, I want to be setting foot in London. Okay, London on Christmas. I want that to be my Christmas present. I've been to London, to a London train station, but I never actually got to venture outward because we did go on a trip to Wales together a few years ago, and it was like a mission-based trip. So we were like helping serve a church over there, which was really cool. And we made a lot of friends. I want to go back this year and reunite with those friends, but also take like a separate adventure just for us and just traveling in general. I love flying and I love experiencing new places, and there's so many places in the United States that I haven't been. So New York, LA, I want to go everywhere. I want to go to Boston, and you better believe if I do, I'm gonna make a blog about it. Those are the 2 big things I want to achieve this year. So travel and social media presence, inspiring through social media. So anyway, I hope you guys really liked this video. Like I said, what inspired me to do this video was the Google commercial. So the Google commercial is a year in search. And a year in search 2017 to be specific. They did one for 2016 as well, but it's just a really like powerful, uplifting video about how we as people really are more good than bad. I feel like the media exposes all of the bad and never really much of the good, and I mean that in like every sense. And this commercial really just kind of like gave me a sense of hope and power too, because at the end of the day, we, everyone watching this, we are the change. Like if we don't take one step, even if it is just one step in the right direction to help someone or help something, or like put ourselves like throwing ourselves into a cause to make something better, then the change isn't going to happen. It doesn't just come from one person. It also just doesn't, it starts with one person. I stopped watching that video and my husband and I were both in tears. I just want you guys to feel the same. So I'm going to link the video down below and I want everyone to watch it, and then I want you to think about how like you're going to impact 2018 in a positive way, because politically our climate has been terrible. The economic climate has been terrible. The environmental climate change, hello, is really like negative. It's not a good thing and it's not a happy thing to talk about. So I think we should all take a second to think about ways that we can help improve the world this next year, even if it's just by doing one thing. If you're helping in a community garden, if you're helping your neighbor carry in the groceries, just small things that on a larger scale really do make a difference. I just want you to challenge yourself to find a way to make a difference. Whether it's at your job, just being kind to rude customers, which is really hard when you work retail. Simple things every day that you can do to just make the world better. Do it. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and look forward to more videos like this on my channel. And like and subscribe if you actually liked this video.